Now we're going to look at a quiz that I've developed for the alphabet, a pretest for the alphabet for the kindergartners in my online learning environment. It's going to load here in a minute. This is a little bit different than the hotspot. This is going to be all fill in the blank because they will be required to fill in the letter so that they know which one that they're talking about. I also included pictures on here, which some of them might be a little bit of a giveaway. I tried to incorporate pictures that were not typical apple for A and so on, but I did feel that it looked very stark without pictures, just not very inviting or child-friendly, so that's why those are included, even though some of them might be a little bit of a giveaway. So as soon as it loads here, we're going to get started. Here we go.
Alphabet quiz. This quiz will ask you questions about the letters of the alphabet. You need to type in the letter, then click the submit button. At the end of the quiz, you will find out how you did. You can only do this quiz once, so try your best. What letter says A?
Alright, and here's our first example of why you cannot type in the letter when you're asking a question about letters. Because if you type in the letter and you want them to type in the letter, obviously that's not going to work. So here, what letter says A, I put A-Y to kind of mimic the sound. So we're going to enter A.
That's right.
Again, instant feedback.
What letter sounds like H?
I liked this one, the H. So I spelled, instead of a letter H, A-Y-C-H. So it's a little bit, the students most likely are not going to guess it from the way I've worded the question, or rather spelled the question.
Great job. Which letter says X?
Here I'm going to enter Z just to show you an example of a wrong question, or wrong answer.
Sorry, that wasn't right. The correct answer is X.
And you'll note that, I say the sound X in both the question and the answer, but when I give the answer for one that was not right, you can see I do include the actual letter of what they should have typed in. That way it's clarifying.
What letter sounds like R?
And like the pictures, in most of the Articulate applications that you can download, the pictures are interactive. You click on them, they get bigger. So we're going to keep going through this to get to the end.
Great job. What letter sounds like Q? Awesome. Which letter says B?
I'm going to turn down my volume here a little bit. I like the quiz maker on Articulate because it offers a lot of different kinds of questions. I utilize mainly the fill in the blank and the hotspot questions. There were also true and false. There were many, many different options for the different kinds of questions that you would like to create in your quizzes. So I thought that was a really good resource for quiz making and test making. There was also an option to have ungraded tests, surveys, which I did not include, but I thought it really gave you a lot of options in as far as what kind of quizzes or surveys that you wanted to create.
Which letter sounds like S? Which letter sounds like D?
And, sometimes you can't get away from getting that first letter, the right letter, in as the first sound. Letter D. How are you going to do that sound without giving it away? So, we just try our best. And
that's correct.
Also, these are very, very young learners, so.
Which letter says R?
Also, something that is not so
that's right.
obvious.
Which letter?
Is that when you are doing your own audio, is that you have to be careful, especially when you're doing letter sounds, that your feedback, you're not hissing in the mic or anything, that, you play it back to yourself, so you make sure that people and your students will be able to understand it, especially letters and sounds that sound very similar. some of these I had to do several times to get them where they were able to be heard. And so that's just something to keep in mind when you're doing online audio.
Huh. Great job. Which letter sounds like G? That's correct. Which letter sounds like awesome job? Which letter says za?
That was a really tough one. Which letter says za? Doesn't sound that hard when you're thinking about it, but you play it back and it's just all muddled together. So that one is a prime example. That one I had to re-record several times.
Good job. Which letter sounds like F? That's right. Which letter? Great. Which letters? Awesome job.
And again, we're just cruising through.
Which letters? That's right. Which letter sounds? Good job.
And view results. I want to set this one at 70%. Okay, well, obviously I need to go back through and I need to set my quizzes to 75% for the reasons I already have stated. On this one, our result was 96. We passed. If we did not get a passing score, here where we now see a green check mark, it would have a red X and saying, sorry, you did not pass this test. And again, it would say your score and what the required passing score is. And again, that is, what I also did not point out is that you can assign the desired point value for each question. You can make them whichever point value you would like to have them. Each question has its own that you can set. So you can have a default which sets every question to that, but you can also go through and set different questions, different point values, which I thought was a useful feature as well.